Hi everyone, I'm Scott from Sharkey's Floral and Greenhouses here in beautiful little tourist town of Cribwitz, Wisconsin. I know a lot of you are following us from all different areas of the country, and we're way up in the northern part of Wisconsin. But today I want to talk a little bit about perennials, and I don't want to dive real deep into perennials. This will just be a short video on the why you might want perennials. And one of the things that we what we experience in the greenhouses is people will come in and they'll want perennials. And we usually ask a few questions because 90% of the time, this is how it goes. Customer comes in, hey, I want some perennials. Okay, and we'll ask them, what are you thinking? Do you have sun or shade? And they're like, I just want to throw some flowers in the ground and I don't have to deal with them. That's not how it works. And if you know me, you know that I'm rather brutally honest and to my own detriment. I was like, that's just not going to work. Perennials will need work just like annuals will need work. And the people that have the most beautiful landscapes and the most beautiful yards, they work at them, all right? And you're not just going to throw some perennials in the ground and they're magically going to come up and you're going to have this awesome landscape. It doesn't work that way. So we try to steer people and figure out what they want so that they're going to be happy. We want you to come into our greenhouse and be happy 12 months from now because you planted perennials and they turned out gorgeous. So with perennials, we just want to dispel some of those misnomers or those myths that, we're just going to throw them in and they're going to be awesome. And the other thing to think about perennials is they have a short season that they flower. They're not like annuals, where annuals will flower and you have the entire season, typically, the entire summer of flowers. Perennials, generally speaking, perennials will flower for, say, early spring, summer, or a season during the fall time. So when you're thinking about perennials or where you're going to put them, there's a few things that you want to think about. So the first one we're talking about is that time of season. Do you want perennials that are going to flower early spring, late spring, early summer, late summer, early fall, or going into that late fall season? And the people that have the best perennial gardens will typically kind of stagger that a little bit, and so that they always have flowers. And you can always mix in some annuals along with your perennial garden bed, and some great annuals that are really low key would be your vinca, your wax begonias, gazanias are beautiful, portulaca or moss rose. Those are nice things that you can mix in with perennials that are still very easy to care for. Something else to think about when you're putting in perennials: are they going to go in the sun or are they going to go in the shade? Do you have a lot of trees that cast the shade? Or do you have absolutely no trees and it's going to be in full blazing sun all day? So that's another thing to consider. And also, what zone? What zone are you living in as far as the how cold hardy is it going to take for those plants? Sometimes you go to a big box retailer and they have all kinds of perennials and they're not for that area. You'll look at on a perennial, it'll tell you what zone it's for. So make sure that you're getting for your zone safely within that zone. The big box retailers, they just put them out there, and it's a perennial in Florida, but hey, I live in the upper Midwest and we're going to have 15 degrees below zero, 25 degrees below zero for a week. Those perennials have to be able to handle that. And one of the things that will really wipe out perennials is the snow. The snow protects the perennials. It insulates that ground cover. And like this year, we didn't have much snow. So I'm expecting a lot of people that had perennials, they might not pop up this year because we didn't have the snow. We still had the cold, but we didn't have that snow cover to insulate the ground. And that's one thing that will really wipe out perennials. So you can add straw at the end of the year. When you're done with those perennials, you might cut them down and add a layer of straw, and that will help protect the perennials. So those are a few things to consider when you're looking at perennials and considering them. And we're going to talk a little bit more about perennials, but this was just a very quick overview of perennials and why you'd want to buy them and the things that you can think about in putting them in your gardens. Thank you. Have a great day.